Hey, welcome back to the Principals Podcast. This is our latest edition. I'm your host today, Mr. Eggleton. I have
John Quinn,
our special ed director. He's going to join us today. Mr. Sintobin is laid up with a knee surgery, so he isn't able to make it with us. And we are very excited to have a special guest with us today from our basketball team, junior Paul Craig. So,
thanks for having me.
Yeah.
welcome.
As always, we're going to start out with some icebreaker questions here. So first, I'll start out. Which teacher would survive the longest in a zombie apocalypse?
I don't know. I kind of feel like Mr. Aaron. I feel like, he's just built for that moment. I don't know.
He's kind of wiry, I think.
Yeah.
So.
All right. When you have free time, what do you usually find yourself doing?
It depends. In the summer, I would like go out and shoot a basketball, or in the winter, probably play video games or something.
If you could have any animal as a pet, real or imaginary, what would it be?
Probably a kangaroo. I feel like that'd be a fun one to have.
It might box you though.
These things are scary.
All right. What's a totally useless skill you secretly wish you had?
Well, that's an interesting one. Probably learning and picking up on things really quickly. I'd say, I don't know.
That'd be a pretty useful
Yeah, you're right.
skill, I think. But
maybe like juggling or something.
That's
like
actually
that.
Just popped into my mind. Juggling would be like a great useless skill you can entertain people with.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last one. If you could live in any decade, which would it be?
Probably the 80s. I feel like that'd be a fun one to live in.
Oh, yeah.
Special.
As a basketball guy, you could watch the start of Michael Jordan's career. Who's better? I got one more. Michael Jordan, LeBron James. Who's the GOAT?
I think
there's only one right
answer. It's a hot take. I think it's LeBron.
Oh, my goodness.
I think actually Kobe Bryant's the GOAT.
You think so?
But
okay.
LeBron, I think he's had a overall way more fun career to watch, I'd say. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like going 6-0 in the finals is pretty tough to beat with Michael Jordan, but
yeah, I mean, I grew up obviously, in the 90s watching Michael through his prime. So I'm probably a little bit biased there. Now I honestly would probably put Michael, Kobe, then LeBron personally. So
I think Kobe is the second coming, or was the second coming of Michael. And I think when I look at those eras and I look at who Michael Jordan played against versus who LeBron played against, and you look at that original dream team that Michael was playing against, and he was the best of those people, I think that says a lot. So, but it was fun for sure. It was awesome. He's definitely the most intense competitor that I ever watched.
Right. So let's bring us to the main reason why Paul's here today, not just to talk about basketball, to talk about his basketball career. A huge milestone. I was lucky enough to be in the stands to watch against Cranberry here a few weeks ago. Paul, as a junior, hit 1,000 points in his career. Just a fantastic accomplishment. So talk a little bit about what that means to you and how you got there.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, there's only so many people that have got 1,000 points, let alone a junior. It means a lot because I put a lot of work into this game, and it's fun to do it out there, especially with my friends, even get something like that. And even when I did get it, like, there's a lot of fans there, like you were there, like my family. It meant a lot personally.
Yeah, there was a lot of people. Like, for an away game at Cranberry, that I think we probably had more fans there than what Cranberry had.
Yeah.
I think everyone kind of knew. Obviously, we anticipated. What'd you need going into that game?
I think it was like 8 points.
Yeah.
I tried to keep it off my mind, obviously, because
right, going into something like that, like every point, like you know you're getting closer, but you don't want to think about it because you don't want that extra pressure. You just want to go out there and do what you do and help the team, try to succeed and win. So, but yeah, I think it was 8 points. So obviously, I looked up before we came here. You averaged 23.3 points a game this year. So 8 points is pretty, pretty easy bar to shoot for. So I think everyone kind of expected you to get it there, and you obviously did. So just a fantastic accomplishment. So congratulations
thank
on
you.
that.
I appreciate that.
I'm actually not surprised. And if you remember when you were a freshman, I told you need to shoot more. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you just were bestowed a great honor and first team all conference. What went through your mind when you were given that award?
I was pretty thankful to get that because it's also a big accomplishment. I was up there with a bunch of good players, Dom, Corsetti, Blake, Nathan Frederick, and a lot of good players. So it meant a lot, and it was cool to see, my name up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and with the addition, Brookville just came into the league here, last year?
Yeah.
So, the all conference is even more difficult, especially that first team. It's even a more difficult thing to accomplish when you add in another team, especially the quality of a team like Brookville. And so, yeah, it's a huge, huge honor for a junior to make that team. So let's talk about your progression. Mr. Quinn talked about as a freshman saying, hey, you need to shoot more. You kind of came out and surprised people as a freshman. Like not that they didn't know where you came from. I think when your older brother, had some of the accomplishments he did and was, the player he did, you weren't going to surprise anybody coming up as Paul Craig, who is this kid. They knew who you were. But you had to work from a freshman to being kind of the guy that would come in and provide a little bit of a spark here and there. To last year as a sophomore, you had a little bit more put on your plate. To this year as a junior, I think you kind of had to be the guy. Mm-hmm. Tell us, how that kind of has progressed and what you have done to try to take over that leadership role.
Yeah, well, when I was a freshman, we had a bunch of players around me, so I knew I was a role player, like try to get a few rebounds. I wasn't very tall, but I could knock down the three, so that was big. So I'd come in for a big role there. And then sophomore year, obviously we had Jace, so he was a big help for anything really. And so I knew I had to score a little bit, but also play defense, get some more rebounds. And then to this year, I knew I had to do a little more. So I had to put a little more work in the off season of getting stronger and shooting. Being able to score the ball. Yeah.
Could you speak a little more to how you get yourself ready, how you prepare for the upcoming season, and then also stepping into a leadership role and how you help your team get ready?
Yeah. Well, in the off season, I like this spring, I go play AAU. I play on two AAU teams, and I play AU in the fall, and I'm playing all summer. We get in the summer leagues. Mm-hmm. And so just being around that kind of helps to prepare yourself, practicing. And before games, I try to stay focused, make sure, even practices, try to make sure everyone's focused. And so they're ready for when the time comes. And yeah.
And we talked about weight training. You're going to really get into focus a little more on weight training this offseason. So I'm excited to see what that does for you. I'm a big advocate for any athlete. I think that if you can get stronger, you're going to be better at whatever sport you're doing. Tell us a little bit about kind of growing up in a basketball family. You certainly have some high expectations. You have some people to look up to. Obviously, your mom and dad both played at the collegiate level. Your uncle, I went to school with your uncle. He was a good basketball player here. Your older brother. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's nice because, both my parents, they met in college and they played basketball in college. So obviously it's a big thing around our household. And it's nice having basketball in the family because, all I've known is playing basketball, always going outside, shooting. It's competitive with my brothers, it's fun to be around them and shoot and play. And yeah.
When it's all said and done, your youngest brother, we could even include your little sister. How old is she? 6?
Yeah, I think 6.
Kindergartner?
Yeah.
Let's say if we talked again in 12 years, so your sister would be a senior graduating, who's going to be the best Craig basketball player of them all?
I think Ian probably has or Ian or Eric probably have the most potential, but Amelia, she definitely has the best chance to even play at a higher level, like go Division II, Division I.
Okay. I've found that, like, a lot of times when you have a lot of brothers, like, it seems like the younger, as they get younger, they've had to compete against the older brothers the whole time. So that could make sense.
Yeah.
You're saying Ian and Eric, and then maybe Amelia, she's going to be so far much younger than the others.
Yeah.
But she'll have to try to compete against the older brothers.
Right, yeah.
So.
You can kind of get a little glimpse at the differences between you and your two brothers. Let's talk about that first. I think it's harder when your sister's so young, but your brothers are, getting to be like junior high age, and you can kind of see their skill sets. And how do their skill sets compare to yours?
I think they're gifted probably a little more athletically than I am, but their ability to shoot, or Ian's ability to shoot for sure, is way better than mine. He can shoot really well, but I'd say ball handling, they've been doing pretty good ball handling wise, and being able to hold pressure, they've been doing a good job with that, because we're always playing, 1v1v1 or a 2v2 with my older brother Jack, so it's always competitive, and it's getting them better.
So you got to play a year with Jack, right, on the varsity? So what can you take from him getting to play? Was he a senior your freshman year?
Yeah.
So what can you take from what he brought to you as a senior? You come up as a freshman. Now your little brother, you're going to be a senior next year. He'll be a freshman. So what can you take from the experience that you had playing with Jack as a young player and use that to help Ian as a young player?
Yeah, to be honest, just come in. If you get a chance to get in the game, do your job. Being able to play defense, that's what, like my brother Jack, he was a very good defender. He still is. Yeah, he plays at Penn State Du Bois. He's a really good defender. And so I've learned that just going in and doing your part can help the team out tremendously.
Yeah. So it's kind of tough when you're a junior to answer this next question, because I'm thinking after next year, after your senior year, how do you think people will look back on your career? You have goals for next year, of course. And so with the work you're going to put in and with playing next season, after that time is done here at Clarion Limestone, what are people going to say about Paul Craig?
Well, I hope they say that I was a hard worker and I was a guy that wanted to win, because I do want to win. And hopefully next year our team, we get a bit of more growth, and I'd like to win a championship or make it far in the playoffs.
Yeah, this year, young team, not a senior on the roster. So everybody's back next year. So, we obviously have very high hopes for the season. I know you do, and so forth. So, I think that's something that, you always want to leave that legacy. You want to feel like the program is better when you left than it was when you got there. And when you got there, the program was very good. We have a great basketball tradition here. So I'm excited to see what you guys do with it next year and the work you put in. Speaking of that, going into your senior year, you said about your brother, Jack, he's been a two-sport athlete in college, very successful in both at Penn State Du Bois. What's your plans?
School-wise, I'm not too sure what I want to do, but I would like to play at the next level collegiately, playing basketball, whether that's Division III or Division II. Division I's probably far away, but definitely Division II is where I'd like to be. But I'm not really sure what I do school-wise. It's a tough decision.
You don't know what you want to study yet or anything?
Not really. I wouldn't mind being like a history teacher. My dad's a history teacher. I wouldn't mind doing something like that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool.
So in order to try to get you to grow taller, do your parents have you set up in traction at home where they're like stretching out your body? Or
No, I've been gifted a lot with my height, which is nice.
Yeah, when you walked in the first day of school this year, like, holy man, Paul, I think you grew like 4 inches since last school year.
Yeah.
I'm trying to catch my dad. He's like an inch taller than me, but we'll see.
You can jump higher now, though,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
How is it? Like, what is that dynamic? I know I've I've coached my daughters in lower level stuff, and it can be difficult sometimes. What is that dynamic? Father, son, coach, player. Do you ever have those like butt head moments? Do you ever?
Oh yeah, all the time. He's always chirping at me, obviously, but I understand that he wants me to be better at what I do. And looking back, I appreciate him being hard on me because it made me turn me into the person I am today, and I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah, it's easy because as a father, you have a higher expectation for your kid because they're out there, and sometimes it's easier to be a little bit more hard on them as opposed to other players, and it's hard to balance that. Trust me, I know. Just coaching lower levels, I can't imagine at the higher level,
right,
like you and your dad are, and maybe someday I will deal with that. But I think that's got to be definitely an interesting dynamic. And sometimes do you ever take like the game home and like all right, Dad, I'm done. Like I don't want to hear about it at home and at practice and at.
It depends, but usually I like to hear what he has to say about me and what I can do to be better. So
certainly, yes. So
when I talk to guys who played sports and they're older now, one of the biggest things they miss is that locker room camaraderie. Give us a little insight as to the locker room energy and who's the funniest guy in the locker room.
That's a hard one because there's a lot of funny guys. I'd have to say that sophomore class is pretty funny with Ryan Rinker, Brody Beggs, and Casey. They're funny guys to be around, so they bring up a little more hype to the locker room, which is fun.
Okay, good.
One piece of advice you would give, let's say we have some young basketball players in our elementary school, and they come to the games, they see Paul Craig, they see him scoring all these points. What advice would you give them as to how to become a successful, not only basketball player, but student? Because you're a very successful student here. If anyone watching Paul is a kid that anyone in our school could look up to on how he carries himself and behaves in the school as well. So some advice for our younger Lions at the elementary school.
Yeah, just work hard, pay attention, and be nice. Be nice to people because that pays back pretty well in the long run. That's probably all I'd have to say.
All right. I got a real fun question for you. So if you had a walk-up song every time that you got to check into a game, what would that song be?
Ooh. I'd have to go with the Eye of the Tiger. I feel like that's a good one.
Classic.
Yeah.
Well, he said he wanted to be in the 80s. That's pulling it right out of there.
It was a good era, man.
Yeah.
It really was.
I've been Mr. Quinn's heyday, the 80s. So.
Oh, yeah.
I was born there, but I don't remember any of it.
Right, yeah.
So, here's one more. Most embarrassing moment of this basketball season, not like a loss or whatever, like, oh my goodness, like you threw up an air ball, or did you have any like missed dunks or anything like that?
Scored a basket in the wrong hoop.
Yeah, I had about 2 missed dunks. I had chances, but the one I got up there, I just slipped out of my hands. But that'd probably be one of the most embarrassing moments. This is probably silly, but this one kid for Union, our last game of the season, he's like, when you're boxing out, you like pull down your pants a little. So I was like, what are you doing? I've never seen anything like that. It's like
sneaky old school tactics.
Yeah.
All right, Paul. Well, we appreciate you coming on with us, and we look forward to seeing one more year of what you have to accomplish and what your hard work this offseason is going to lead to. So look forward to watching you next year, and we still have another season, right? You're a baseball player, so get to see you in the baseball field this spring too. So with Mr. Quinn as your coach,
I'm looking forward to it. I've heard a lot of good things, and we're just getting started with practices. So I'm looking forward to Paul's not only his productivity on the field, but also his locker room presence and leadership.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.